Happy Sunday, everyone. We just got home from church. I'm about to take the cover off the grill because today I'm doing, for the very first time, I'm going to slow cook on the gas grill a deer shoulder. So I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's kind of like the episode we did, the last one. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but we're going to give it a shot and we're going to find out together. Let's get started. All right, so we've got our deer shoulder laying here. The first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a knife and we're going to trim all this big chunks of fat off of it. Alright, so I got most of the fat trimmed off of it. I'm going to leave some of the fat on just to add for flavor, make it a little juicier. But now I'm going to take some mustard and I'm going to squirt it all over the meat. Then I'm just going to take my hands and just rub this mustard all around and all over, getting it in all the little nooks and crannies. Now the spice that we're using today is Granny Moore's Good Rub. It's the only rub you'll ever need. So we're going to give this a try. It was sent to me to try out and experiment with, so by golly, we're going to let her have it. And just take your rub, whatever rub you're going to use, and just start seasoning all over the front and back. Get this dude coated up good. Then you're going to flip it over, add more seasoning to the other side. I'll tell you what, this seasoning smells really good. All right, now that we got our shoulder prepped, now we're gonna go ahead and fire up the grill. Now with this, you're only gonna want about 275. And so I know with my grill, I only got 2 burners. If I turn both burners on, I'm gonna stay above that 275 mark. So I'm only gonna turn one burner on and reach or shoot for that 275. All right, so you can see I got my ThermoPro thermometer here, and I got the probe inside the grill, so we're monitoring our temperature with it. Once it hits that 275 range, then we'll go ahead and put our shoulder on the grill. All right, so we hit our 275 range. We went ahead and put our meat probe into the shoulder itself, making sure you don't put it in the bone. And so now we're going to close the lid. We're going to put this on the direct side until we hit that 160 mark, or 140 to 150 mark. Now with one of these gas grills that you can't just set your temperature and forget it, this is where, when you're doing a slow cook, you really gotta stay on top of your meters, on your thermometers. Make sure you're gonna have to play with adjust the knobs, adjust your heat up and down, because that little bit of having the lid open, especially in this colder weather, our temperature dropped pretty significantly. So we got our probe in the meat. We're just gonna slowly watch it climb until, like I said, it hits that 140 mark. All right, so our internal temperature we're shooting for is 140. We just hit about 80 degrees internal temperature, so I flipped the meat and put my probe back in. And we're gonna let it keep cooking until we hit that 140 degrees mark. Our internal temperature has hit 130, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is get it prepped and get everything ready for the next phase of this slow cook. So I bought one of these aluminum baking dishes here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some apple juice to it. We're gonna pour us about 1 inch worth of apple juice into the bottom of this tray. Now when that shoulder hits 140 degrees, what we're gonna do is we're gonna set that down in this aluminum tray with the apple juice in it. We're gonna cover the top with aluminum foil and move it all over to the indirect side. We have hit our 140 mark, so here's what we're about to do. We just raised the lid, and I gotta tell you, the sun gun's looking good. So we put our shoulder down in this apple juice. We're gonna cover the entire thing with aluminum foil. We're gonna set our entire tray over here on the indirect side. We're gonna put our probes back in it. Now the purpose of this, we're gonna let it cook low and slow for about 2 hours. We're gonna try to maintain our heat right there at the 140 mark. So now that I got our shoulder in the aluminum pan in that apple juice, and that apple juice is gonna cook and it's gonna keep the meat moist, but we slid it over to the indirect side. We're gonna give it another 2 hours, so that way the intent is when we pull that aluminum foil off, that meat's just gonna shred and it's gonna be beautiful. That's the intent. So we got about 2 hours to see if that's actually gonna happen. All right, so my timer just went off. We had our internal temperature reached Look at there, look at there. She's looking good. All right, so we got her in the house on the pan. I'm about to cut into it. So it's looking like I got her just a little overcooked than what I was going for. But nonetheless, we're gonna give it that all important taste test. All right, so that one was a little bit chewy. While letting it cook on the indirect side, I let the temperature climb up to 160. Maybe I shouldn't have done that, but I had the grill setting turned as low as I could get it. But this was again, definitely a trial and error deal. I got 2 more of the shoulders, so I'm definitely gonna hit this up again. But the flavor, very, very good flavor. I can't say enough about the combination of the seasonings that we put on there, and then the apple juice. Once we set it in the pan with apple juice, very good. Like I said, I'm definitely going to try this again, so y'all bear with me. Please, if you like this video or if you have any suggestions what I could do to make it better, let me know. This was a first time trial run, but like I said, better believe we'll be back at this again. So this was definitely a live and learn moment. All right, so I think next time what I would do is I would pull the deer shoulder off the direct heat side at maybe 120 to 130 range, put it in the pan with the apple juice and let it cook for the couple hours in that juice. It was very tender, very juicy, had a lot of flavor, but I let it overcook too much, trying to let it sit in that juice. So we're definitely gonna try this again, but if I had any advice to you, if you're trying this, pull it before you hit that 140 on your direct heat when we were initially kind of searing the outside, and then put it in that pan, wrap it with aluminum foil, let it sit for those 2 hours, because I still had 45 minutes left sit time in that juice. So like I said, live and learn, but I guarantee you this, it'll be better come next time, and there will be a next time. Bye-bye.